My dear friends, since you were kind enough to purchase this particular NFT, which portrays, in a way, my experience of the spirit of our time in which we are now living, I thought maybe this small video to explain a little bit more of the background and what my experience was in creating this painting. This is a very powerful time that we've had the privilege to be involved in a lifetime on the earth. And it's important, in a way, that we picture in our own minds what it is that we're going through. You see, this painting, which I have called Michael's Time. Michael is a spiritual being. How can you possibly paint a spiritual being? How can you use color and form for something that's spirit, where no color and no form, at least in the version that we see as through our sense perception right now? I mean, it's really a difficult task to undertake. So I wanted to explain really to you who may be looking at this particular painting. It's a kind of a portrait. And you see there's a face up in the left-hand corner. However, that's not the face of Michael. The face of Michael, or the portrait of him, is the entire picture, from border to border, from the top border to the bottom border, from the left border to the right border. That's my perception of Michael in our time. He represents, in a way, the time element and everything that occurs now, including his challenges with other beings that are in evidence all around us, including those challenges. They are also his tasks and his evidence that we find playing out in the events of our time. I would like to point out a couple of things. So what is the face up in the corner? There's always a being has an expression of being, has an identity, has some way to be distinguished from what is the action and what is the complexity within a function. So somehow there has to be an expression of that being. So when I, as an artist, use color and form to try to indicate in some way what is that expression of the being of our time, I wanted to clarify that this was the spirit of tough love. In other words, it's not always the way it's portrayed in many of the paintings of old times. It's quite different. It's much more a kindliness in it, but an unrelenting kindliness, urging us on into a better future, one where the human being can develop and all the beings in the world can also develop, including the plants, the animals, and the minerals. So I wanted this face up there to be a tough one, but a kindly one. I didn't want it to be friendly. I didn't want it to be a face that looked like you would meet it somewhere. This is a face that has a quiet sort of love, but an unrelenting, strong sense of where the direction that the human being needs to be taking in the future. And that I have augmented by the part that you see in the bottom of the painting. You see there are 4 different colors, and you see there are sort of indicated different beings in all of those sections with different colors in it. And they really represent, on one hand, human beings that are falling behind a little bit, that are not able to quite catch up for one reason or another. There are always reasons why something can't happen, as well as reasons why something can happen. And then there also is a whole section there with the green part and so on, where I've tried to indicate that many of us are asleep. And then in the red section there, I was trying to indicate those beings who are beginning to wake up. And then all the way to the right, those who are beginning to break into the full destiny of what a human being can be and will become in the future, that I hope all of us will care about and will have a part in it. And along that sword-like picture or form that you see dividing kind of what's above and what's below, that sword-like element not only points in a certain direction, but has a kind of a separation element to it. It kind of separates us from those who are moving forward, those who are holding back, those who are asleep, so that's all there. And then these colors of the blue that's above it and so on, they are the indication in a way of all the other beings in the universe who are involved in our development and the way in which they have taken us to the present moment in time where we will have to become responsible for our destiny and wake up to the full impact of what our role is in the universe of spiritual beings. Enjoy my painting. I hope it gives you pleasure and something to meditate on. Thank you.